we are back with another video. So some cool things that happened today is that I went to my wrap party for the film that I was in and I got this new poster, which I freaking love. Like, that is me, and that is also me being carried, because I'm a total diva and refuse to walk on my own. No. Yeah, so that's a lot of fun, and apparently we're due to be released in February, which will be amazing. It'll be so cool and so surreal to see myself in that sort of way. I always think, every time I see myself in film, I'm just like, that's me, that's how I look. And that's just like little student film, so I have no idea what it's gonna look like to see myself in like this 1940s homage style film. Just, it makes me feel very special. It's one of the lovelier sides of being an actor, is just having these moments where you're like, wow, I was a part of something that was so cool and so big, and somebody saw me as part of their vision. How exciting is that? I always think that whenever I get cast in a role, I always think that director or that casting director or producer or whoever looked at me, heard me, saw me, and thought, that's the one, she's our girl. I love that. I get a little thrill every time I think back on how many times that has happened in the past, and it's something that I think all actors should just look back on and just be so excited about, because if you've ever been chosen for anything and cast in anything, you've been chosen. You were the chosen one at that particular point in time, so celebrate. But yeah, so that kind of made me want to fill out my wall a bit, so I just want to take a little moment, just teensy moment, just to show what I've got. So I added this one. This is Les Miserables from when I played Fantine. I will never ever ever forget playing Fantine. It was the role of a lifetime. Fantine will always be my dream girl. And then Miss I played Ellen. Yeah, oh, that was awesome. These happened in the same year. It was a big year for me. That was a fantastic year for me. And they were both just amazing casts to work with and amazing companies to work with. I could not have been more spoiled that year. And then, well, I mean, this year I got wonderfully spoiled with some great roles as well. Because over here I have Ladies in Black, which was a show I did earlier this year, and I played the role of Patty, and it was so good to play a role that was Australian, because I think I found that part of my voice that I had been hiding for so many years in accents and, you know, covering up. It's like layer upon layer upon layer, but this was so good because I really related to the role. I really felt so connected to her that I don't feel like I had to try. I don't feel like I had to act. And what made it even better was the fact that the man playing my husband was Tris, my real life husband. So that was just awesome. That is, again, another show that I will not soon forget, because the cast was just so brilliant and we had such an amazing time. Oh, wow. I've had a great couple of years. Honestly, I have. That's some fun stuff that happened today. I've been for my run. I've had my dinner. All of that stuff. The wrap-up party took me till about 4:30. Yeah, I want to say 4:30. So by the time I got home, did some video editing, got to my run, had a shower, had dinner, got back here. It is now, we're looking about 8:15. So I haven't had a lot of time to write. I'm about to go into writing, but there were some things that I wanted to mention. I had to really think today about, because I've been feeling a little bit dull and depressed, and not depressed in a general sense, depressed as in like depressed towards my writing, whereas normally it's such a happy place for me to go into. I felt like I had that huge setback on Friday, and it's now Sunday, and I still feel like that was a bit of a setback in writing scene 2, act 2, scene 2. So I had to contemplate today 2 options, whether A, it would be better to just ignore it and just leave it at what it is for now, and just trust that I would get the right inspiration to come back and re-edit the right way so that it flowed better, and just go straight to act 2, scene 3, or whether I should try and rework it. So in the end I decided, I think I'm gonna go in tonight and try and rework it, because I came up with an idea that I think will work. It's just a real case of pacing. I don't think everything, looking back now, at the time I was like, it's all terrible. Like, shut up guys. But now I'm looking back and I'm like, okay, it's not all terrible. There's still stuff that I can use here. It is a second draft. I do not have to be this hard on myself. So, and even in the second draft, I'm still going to go back and edit within that second drafting phase. So there's no reason to be this harsh on myself or this critical. So yeah, that's the plan for tonight, is go back, change a little bit of the business so that it flows a little bit more, and so that it makes more sense for Diana to react the way that she does. And then tomorrow night, hopefully I will be okay to go through to scene 3. If that doesn't work, I'm just gonna say, fuck it, just go through to scene 3. You can come back to scene 2 at a later time, but we'll see how we go. Another thing that I wanted to mention, because it came up on my feed, my Facebook news feed today, about there was this script writing competition, and this kind of like got me a bit down as well about my work, saying, how will you know when your script is finished? And there was some great suggestions. I can't remember exactly what they were right now, but they had some great suggestions. But one of the things that I thought it was overly critical, and just like, it's just one of those things where actors, or any creative basically tries to put the hard word on other creatives and be really, tell them you have to be critical on yourself, you have to hate your work, you have to, be really, really disciplined, and just, shut up. Yeah, like, who the fuck are you to tell me what I need to do in my work? One of the things it said was, you have to keep handing your work out before you submit. And okay, I guess if you are going to submit to something of a professional level, or even for a competition, yeah, you want to make sure it's your best work, definitely. But one of the things it said was, hand out your work to people, and if you're still getting negative, or if they've still got things to say, if they've still got notes, you're not ready yet. On one hand, yeah, I get it. You want to put forward your best foot. Like, you want to be doing your absolute best work. Scour your work, make sure it's perfection, make sure it's exactly what you wanted. I get that. That's why I'm going to be doing like 5 drafting phases or whatever. I don't know how many drafting phases I'm going to need, but I'm definitely looking at this in the long haul, because I get it. On the other hand, another part of me is like, who are they to say that the feedback that these people are giving you is kosher, like that it's even good feedback? Sometimes people will give you notes for things that you should not change. There are things that you know about your own work that you're like, no thank you. Appreciate that you offered that suggestion, but that is not the vision that I see for my work. What, should you just not hand it in yet? Like, should you just not submit it? I think sometimes we put too many restrictions on ourselves as creatives. It drives me insane. I see so many amazing creatives, and I am surrounded by the most brilliant minds, the most talented people. I literally cannot even begin. I am so lucky to have the life that I have, surrounded by these people, because they come up with things that are just so beyond phenomenal. I can't even. They're just amazing. And yet they hold themselves back because they're afraid. And they're afraid because of wankers like this who come in and say, oh no, you're not allowed to submit yet because you're not perfection. Fuck perfection. Art is not about perfection. It just annoys me so much. I get it. Yes, we are all critical of ourselves and we all want to do the best that we can. But isn't it enough that we are already critical of ourselves? Is it not enough that we beat ourselves and torture ourselves and agonize over the tiniest little mistake? And then we have assholes like this telling us that that's not good enough, that we're not being hard enough on ourselves, because the people who would want to keep us in that sense of fear are telling us, no, you're not ready yet. You're not ready. Fuck that. I know when I'm ready. I will know. If I'm saying I'm ready, I'm fucking ready. Because I can tell you, I have put myself through the ringer before I've gotten to this stage. When I had my first draft finished, I had a friend be very, very critical on me. And I thought, for fuck's sake, it's a first fucking draft. Why do I deserve this? It was just so rude and unnecessary. And this is the thing. You got to be prepared for people to be rough on you. But that's not a reason to stop. And that's certainly not a reason to completely rethink everything that you've done. I think, as a creative, the worst thing that you can do is listen to other people who don't understand you. And I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to get that little rant out of the way, because it is just so frustrating to see these people around me who are so much more talented than I could ever possibly be, creating things that I could not even fathom. And, you know, they restrict themselves, because critics out there who have no place being a critical, giving criticism out at all, think that they can come in and tear a person down for creating something. It's interesting, because I actually had a conversation with someone today, and they said to me, it's so much easier to be a critic than it is to be a creative. And I just want to end this video by saying, I hope that every day of my life I can choose to be a creative and not a critic. I think that's a much better use of my time. Anyway, on that note, I am going to love you and leave you and get back to work.